Welcome to Spelling List 4. This is an alternative spelling list for the Logic of English Essentials Curriculum Lesson 4. Before we begin today's spelling words, we have 4 new phonograms and 1 new spelling rule. The new spelling rule is this: English words do not end in I, U, V, or J. Say that together with me. English words do not end in I, U, V, or J. Now, you might be thinking of some questions you have about this rule in particular, and uncovering the logic of English is a great place to have those answered. In the meantime, let's apply the rule to our 4 new phonograms. The first phonogram that we're going to learn is A. This is A, 2-letter A. Go ahead and say that with me. And this is A, 2-letter A. Now, which of these A's may I use at the end of the word? That's right, I can use this one. I cannot use this at the end because English words do not end in I, U, V, or J. Let's look at another group of phonograms. This says oi, and this says oi. Which oi may I use at the end of the word? That's right, I can use this one. Why may I not use this one? Because English words do not end in I. So this is the oi that we may use at the end of English words, oi that we may not use at the end of English words. A that we may use at the end of English words, A that we may not use at the end of English words. We also have one more rule that we need to explore before we begin, because what does a single letter A say at the end of the word? Well, let's look at just a couple words as a demonstration. We have the very simple word ma and the simple word pa. What is the A saying at the end of the word? It's saying ah, which is its third sound and its broad sound. The dictionary marks the broad sound often with 2 dots, and that's how we mark them in the Logic of English. The rule is this: when a word ends in a single letter A, it usually says ah. All right, very good. Now we're ready to begin our spelling list. All right, the first word is detail. Add detail to the drawing. How many syllables in detail? 2. And the first syllable is D. Let's sound it out together. D-E. The second syllable is tail. Let's sound out tail together. T-A. This is 2-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. L. Go ahead and write detail. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is D. Very good. D-E. The second syllable is tail. T-A-L. And how will we mark the word detail? Well, we'll put a line over the E. And why did the E say its name? A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. Very good. And then we can underline the 2-letter A, because that will help us to see that the 2-letter A is working together to say the long sound A. The next word is spray. Put bug spray on before you go outside. How many syllables in spray? 1. Let's sound it out together. S-P-R-A. What kind of A will you use in the word spray? That's right, you'll use 2-letter A that you may use at the end of English words. Go ahead and write the word spray. And now help me to write it. The first sound is S-P-R-A. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the A. And here we have 2-letter A that you may use at the end of English words. The next word is corner. The table is in the corner of the room. How many syllables in corner? 2. The first syllable is core. Let's sound it out together. K. This will be a k, s, or. The second syllable is ner, n, er. Here you'll use the of her. Go ahead and write corner. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is core, k, or. The second syllable is ner, n, er. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the or and the The next word is haircut. She gave me a haircut. How many syllables in haircut? 2. The first syllable is hair. Let's sound it out together. A. 2-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. Second syllable is cut. K. This is a k, s, a, t. Go ahead and write haircut. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is hair. A, and the second syllable is cut. K, t. And how will we mark haircut? We'll underline the A. Now, haircut is a compound word. What are the two words that work together to make haircut? That's right, it's hair and cut. And a haircut is when you literally cut someone's hair. The next word is yesterday. Yesterday, Ashley went to the park. How many syllables in yes-ter-day? 3. The first syllable is yes. Let's sound it out together. Yes. The second syllable is ter. This is the of her. And the third syllable is day. D-A. 2-letter A that you may use at the end of English words. Go ahead and write yesterday. And now help me to sound it out. Be sure you're sounding it out with me. The first syllable is yes. Y, s. The second syllable is ter. And the third syllable is day. D-A. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the and we'll underline the A. The next word is enjoy. Did you enjoy the book? How many syllables in enjoy? 2. The first syllable is N. Let's sound it out together. E-n. The second syllable is joy. J-oy. This will be the oy that you may use at the end of English words. Go ahead and spell enjoy. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is N, N, and the second syllable is joy. J-oy. And how will we mark enjoy? We'll underline the oy. And why did we use this one? Because English words do not end in I, U, V, or J. So we used the one ending in a Y. Now, what is the root of enjoy? You're right, it's joy, which means to feel joyful or happy. And to enjoy something means that you are full of joy at that time. Great. That was a great story. Let's sound out great together. G-R-A. This is an E-A-A. T. Go ahead and write great. And now help me to write great. Sound it out with me. G-R-A-T. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the A. Now, what sound of E-A-A was this? It was its third sound, so we'll put a little 3 over it to remind us that here it's saying its third sound, A, in great. The next word is employ. We employ 3 people. How many syllables in employ? 2. The first syllable is M. Let's sound it out together. E-m. The second syllable is ploy. P-l-oy. This is oy that you may use at the end of English words. Go ahead and write employ. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is M. E-m. The second syllable is ploy. P-l-oy. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the oy. And why did we use this oy? Because English words do not end in I, U, V, or J. The next word is employee. Max is an employee at the bakery. How many syllables in employee? 3. The first syllable is M. Let's sound it out together. M. The second syllable is ploy. Oi. This is oi that you may use at the end of English words. And then we have E, which is E-double-E. Go ahead and write employee. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is M. The second syllable is ploy. Oi. And the third syllable is E. And here we have the E-double-E. How will we mark this? We'll underline oi, and we'll underline the E-double-E. And what is the root of employee? That's right, it's employ. And an employee is someone who is employed or who works for someone else. The next word is braids. Hannah has braids in her hair. How many syllables in braids? 1. Let's sound it out. B-R-A. This is two-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. D-Z. Braids. And now help me to write it. The B-R-A-D-Z. And how will we mark braids? We'll underline the A. And what sound of Z do you hear in braids? You hear the voice sound Z, which is the second sound, so we'll put a 2 over it to remind us it's saying its second sound, Z. The next word is solo. She sang a solo in the choir. How many syllables in so-lo? 2. The first syllable is so, s-o. The second syllable is lo, ul-o. Go ahead and write it. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is so, s-o. The second syllable is lo, ul-o. How will we mark it? We'll put a line over the O and a line over the O. And why did the O's say their names in solo? That's right, A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. The next word is least. The red team has the least number of points. Let's sound out least together. E. This is an E-A, S-T. Go ahead and write least. And now help me to write it. E, S-T. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the E. Now notice the E-A is saying E in the word least. The next word is blistering. The sun is blistering hot. How many syllables in blistering? 3. The first syllable is bliss. B-L-I-S. The second syllable is ter. T-er. This is the of her. And the third syllable is ing. I-ng. Go ahead and write blistering. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is bliss. B-O-I-S. The second syllable is ter. T-er. And the third syllable is ing. I-ng. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the and the ng. What is the root word of blistering? That's right, it's blister. And something that blisters or is very, very hot is blistering. It causes blisters. The next word is extra. Please bring an extra pair of shoes to camp. How many syllables in extra? 2. The first syllable is X. X. The second syllable is tra. T-er-aw. This is an a-a-aw. Go ahead and write extra. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is X. X. The second syllable is tra. T-er-aw. And how will we mark it? We'll put 2 dots over the A because it said its broad sound. Now, For those of you who hear the schwa sound, extra, you're correct. It's saying the or the schwa sound, and any vowel can say schwa in an unaccented syllable. The accent is on x, extra, and we exaggerate that broad sound to give us a picture of it in our minds when we hear the word as well, so that we can help remember how to spell the word extra. By the way, what is the rule for a at the end of the word? When a word ends in an a, it says aw. Very good. The next word is quaint. What a quaint little house. Quaint. How many syllables in quaint? 1. Let's sound it out together. Qu, a. This is 2-letter a that you may not use at the end of English words. N, t. Quaint. Go ahead and write quaint. And now help me to write quaint. Qu, a, n, t. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the qu and the 2-letter a. Very good. The next word is poison. Beware of poison. How many syllables in poison? 2. The first syllable is poi, p, oi. This is oi that you may not use at the end of English words. The second syllable is zon, z. This is a s, z, aw, n. Go ahead and write poison. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is poi, p, oi. The second syllable is zon, z, ah, n. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the oi. And what sound do we hear from s, z? The second sound, z. So we'll put a little 2 over it to remind us it's saying its second sound, z, in poison. The next word is video. Did you see the video? How many syllables in vid-e-o? 3. The first syllable is vid, v-i-d. The second syllable is e, and the third syllable is o. Go ahead and write vid-e-o. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is vid, v-i-d. The second syllable is e, and the third syllable is o. How do we mark video? We'll put a line over the e and a line over the o. And why did the e and the o say their names in video? Because a, e, o, u usually say their names at the end of the syllable. The next word is interrupt. It is not polite to interrupt. How many syllables in interrupt? 3. The first syllable is in, I, n. The second syllable is ter, t, This is the of her. The third syllable is rupt, p, t. Go ahead and write interrupt. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is in, I, n. The second syllable is ter, t, and the third syllable is rupt, p, t. And how will we mark interrupt? We'll underline the and I think that's it. Now, the next word has something in common with interrupt, so I want you to look for a pattern here, and this will happen in the next few words. The next word is bankrupt. The man is bankrupt. How many syllables in bankrupt? 2. The first syllable is bank, b, a, n, k. This is a tall k or a k. And the second syllable is rupt, p, t. Go ahead and write bankrupt. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is bank, b, a, n, k. And the second syllable is rupt, p, t. And what do you notice is the same between interrupt and bankrupt? You're right, they both have rupt on them. Do you have any ideas based on these words what rupt may mean? Well, I'll give you another word before I tell you. The next word is erupt. The volcano may erupt at any time. How many syllables in erupt? 2. The first syllable is E. The second syllable is rupt. P-t. Go ahead and write erupt. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is E, and the second syllable is rupt. P-t. And how will we mark erupt? We'll draw a line over the E. And why did the E say its name? Because it's at the end of the syllable. And what's the rule? A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. So once again, we have a word with rupt in it. Now, rupt means to break. So to interrupt, inter means between. So to interrupt means to break between something. So when someone's talking to another person and they are interrupted, someone breaks between them. Bankrupt means to literally break the bank. So someone who is bankrupt has no money or has more debt than they have money to pay for it. So in this case, the bank is broken. And when a volcano erupts, you can picture that it breaks open and it's an explosive breaking forth. The next word is disorder. Her room was in complete disorder. How many syllables in dis or der? 3. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is or. And the third syllable is der. D-er. Go ahead and write dis or der. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is or. And the third syllable is der. D-er. And how will we mark disorder? We'll underline the or and the er. What is the root word of disorder? You're right, it's order. And something that's in order is organized or neat. And something that's in disorder is not organized. So dis means not. Very good. The next word is disrespect. It is important to not disrespect people. How many syllables in disrespect? 3. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is re. E. And the third syllable is spect. S-p-e-k. This is a k. S-t. Go ahead and write disrespect. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is re. E. And the third syllable is spect. S-p-e-k-t. And how do we mark disrespect? We'll put a line over the E. And why did the E say its name? You're right, because it's at the end of the syllable. Let's say the rule again. A, E, O, U usually say their names at the end of the syllable. What is the root of disrespect? You're right, it's respect. And what does respect mean? It means to treat them correctly or to treat them well. And to disrespect would mean to not treat them well. So dis again means not. The next word is discover. How many syllables in discover? 3. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is cov. K-a-v. And the third syllable is Go ahead and write discover. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is cov. K-a-v. And the third syllable is And how will we mark discover? We'll underline the Now, what is the root word of discover? Do you see it? You're right, it's cover. So when you discover something, it's not covered anymore. So discovering means to not cover or to uncover something. Isn't that a neat understanding of this word? The next word is disinfect. The nurse will disinfect the table. How many syllables in disinfect? 3. The first syllable is dis, d, I, s. The second syllable is in, I, n. And the third syllable is fect, f, e, k. This is a k, s, t. Go ahead and write disinfect. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is dis, d, I, s. The second syllable is in, I, n. And the third syllable is fect, f, e, k, t. And is there any way to mark it? No, because it's all the first sounds. And what is the root of disinfect? It is to infect. And to infect means to maybe have germs on it. And then to disinfect means to take away those germs or to make it not infected. The last word is dismay. He felt dismay about forgetting his tennis racket at home. How many syllables in dismay? 2. The first syllable is dis, d, I, s. The second syllable is may, m, a. Here we have 2-letter A that you may use at the end of English words. And now help me to write it. The first syllable is dis, d, I, s. The second syllable is may, m, a. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the A. And so when someone feels dismay, they feel not happy. And dismay has that, the dis part has that not connotation to it. And so you can see that all of these words are related with the prefix dis, which means not. Thank you so much for joining us for Spelling List 4, and we hope you'll be able to join us in the future lessons.